Alexander became king at just 20, and by 32, he was dead. In those 12 years, he didn't just make history, he rewrote the map of the world. From Greece to Egypt, Persia to India, he never lost a battle. He claimed to be the son of a god. He crushed empires, built cities in his name, and died under one of the greatest mysteries in ancient history. But who was Alexander the Great really? A visionary genius, or a ruthless warlord chasing immortality? Alexander was born in 356 BCE in the Macedonian city of Pella. His father, King Philip II, was a brilliant general who unified the Greek city-states. His mother, Olympias, claimed descent from Achilles and told young Alexander he had divine blood. At age 13, he was sent to study under Aristotle, learning philosophy, medicine, and science. But Alexander's obsession wasn't books, it was greatness. He idolized heroes like Achilles and Hercules and believed it was his destiny to outdo them. Even as a teenager, he showed sharp leadership, commanding troops and earning respect. But greatness requires a throne, and it came far sooner than anyone expected. When he was just a boy, Alexander witnessed a powerful stallion, Bucephalus, refuse every rider. While others beat and struggled, Alexander calmly turned the horse to face the sun, removing the shadows that frightened it. He mounted the beast and rode it with ease. His father, watching in awe, said, "My son, you must find a kingdom big enough for you. Macedonia is too small." This wasn't just about a horse, it was a sign. Alexander understood fear, control, and timing, all the qualities of a future conqueror. Bucephalus would ride beside him into every battle until the very end. In 336 BCE, King Philip was assassinated during a wedding. Some say it was a personal feud. Others whisper Olympias and Alexander had a hand in it. Either way, Alexander wasted no time. At just 20, he claimed the throne and executed rivals to secure power. When Thebes rebelled, he razed the city to the ground, sparing only temples and poets. His message was clear. He was not a child king. He was a ruler forged by ambition and war. With Greece under control, he turned his eyes east, to Persia, the world's largest empire. His father had dreamed of invading it. Alexander would make it reality. In 334 BCE, Alexander led 40,000 men across the Hellespont into Asia, symbolically throwing a spear into the land and claiming it for himself. His first major test came at the river Granicus. Persian satraps waited with cavalry, confident they'd crush the young king. Alexander charged anyway, leading from the front as always. His helmet was knocked off, his life nearly lost, but his men rallied and overwhelmed the Persians. The victory was not just military, it was psychological. Greek mercenaries fighting for Persia were either slaughtered or sent back in chains. The message was brutal. If you stood against Alexander, you would fall. He wasn't just invading, he was announcing himself to history. After Granicus, cities fell one by one, but at Tyre, an island fortress, resistance hardened. Rather than sail around it, Alexander built a causeway across the sea. It took 7 months. He then stormed the city, slaughtered the defenders, and crucified the survivors. His wrath was as legendary as his patience. Soon after, he met Persian King Darius III at the Battle of Issus. Though vastly outnumbered, Alexander's tactics broke the Persian center. Darius fled, abandoning his army and his family. Instead of punishing them, Alexander treated Darius's wife and daughters with honor. The conqueror was brutal in battle, but calculated in mercy. He knew he was building a legend, not just an empire. In Egypt, Alexander was welcomed as a liberator from Persian rule. There, he founded the city of Alexandria, one of over 20 cities to bear his name. But something strange happened in the desert. At the Siwa oasis, priests at the oracle called him son of Zeus. Whether it was prophecy or flattery, Alexander embraced it. From then on, he no longer called himself merely king, but godlike. He adopted Persian clothing, rituals, and even encouraged intermarriage between Macedonians and locals. Some saw it as arrogance. Others saw vision. Alexander wasn't just trying to conquer land. He wanted to unite East and West into one world. In 326 BCE, Alexander crossed into the Indian subcontinent, facing fierce resistance unlike anything before. At the Battle of the Hydaspes River, he met King Porus, a towering ruler with war elephants. The battle was brutal. Horses panicked, soldiers drowned. But Alexander's strategy held. He split his forces, flanked the elephants, and Porus was defeated. Impressed by his courage, Alexander asked how he wished to be treated. Porus simply said, like a king. Alexander made him a regional ruler under his empire, but his army had had enough. Exhausted, homesick, and fearing the unknown, they refused to march further east. Alexander turned back, not in defeat, but in recognition that even legends have limits. After years of conquest, Alexander returned to Babylon to plan his next campaign, Arabia. But just before it began, he fell mysteriously ill. Fever, weakness, then silence. Some say it was typhoid or malaria. Others suspect poison. And a chilling theory suggests he wasn't dead at all, just paralyzed, declared dead too early, and buried alive. Regardless, on June 10th, 323 BCE, Alexander died at age 32. He left behind no heir, no succession plan. His generals, the Diadochi, tore his empire apart in brutal civil wars. The greatest empire the world had ever seen had no ruler, only fragments of a dream. Though his empire collapsed, Alexander's influence did not. He spread Greek language, art, and culture across 3 continents. The cities he founded became hubs of learning and trade. Alexandria in Egypt thrived for centuries. His tactics are still studied in military schools today. He reshaped the ancient world and blended cultures in ways no conqueror before him ever tried. His story inspired Julius Caesar, Napoleon, and generals across time. But it wasn't just about war. It was about the idea of unity. One world, under one ruler, bound by vision instead of borders. That dream, however flawed, is what truly made him immortal.